Hey there. Let's talk about something most of us hope we never have to do, but inevitably, life happens. We need to file an insurance claim. For many people, especially first-time policyholders, filing a claim can feel like trying to speak a completely different language. It's like walking into a maze without a map. You might encounter confusing forms, rules that seem unclear, and that nagging fear that your claim might just be denied. It's totally understandable to feel that way. The whole process can feel incredibly overwhelming and, let's be honest, pretty stressful, especially when you're already dealing with the aftermath of an incident. Most of us only ever think about our insurance policy when something has already gone wrong. We pay our premiums, tuck the policy away, and hope for the best. But knowing what to expect before disaster strikes is truly the key to making the process as smooth and painless as possible. It helps you feel prepared and in control. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is an insurance claim? At its core, an insurance claim is simply an official request you make to your insurance company. You're asking them to cover a loss or damage that's protected under your policy. Think about common examples. Maybe you had a fender bender and need your car repaired. You had an unexpected trip to the hospital. Or perhaps some property was stolen from your home. These are all situations where you'd file a claim. But the process involves a bit more than just picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, something happened." There are steps involved. Generally speaking, the insurance claims process usually breaks down into three main stages. Understanding these stages is your map through that maze we talked about. The very first stage is often called intake, or more formally, the first notice of loss. You'll often hear it referred to by its acronym, FNOL. This is your initial contact with the insurance company after an incident occurs. It's where you officially tell them what happened. There are usually a few ways you can report this first notice. You can pick up the phone and call their claims department directly. Many insurance companies now have mobile apps that allow you to start the claims process right from your smartphone. This can be super convenient. Or, if you work closely with an insurance agent, you can often contact them, and they can help you initiate the claim on your behalf. When you make this initial contact, they'll ask you for some basic details. They'll need your name and your policy number so they can identify you and your coverage. They'll also ask for a description of what happened. The incident itself. You'll need to tell them when and where the incident occurred. If you have any photos or videos of the damage or situation, this is a great time to mention them or be prepared to share them. Documentation is always helpful. Now, here's an important note that sometimes causes confusion. Simply reporting that an incident happened is not always the same thing as filing a formal claim. Reporting creates a record of the event. A formal claim is when you specifically request that the insurance company provide compensation or coverage for the loss you suffered. Make sure you clearly state you want to file a claim. Okay, once you've completed the intake or FNOL stage, your claim moves into stage 2. This is often called the adjusting stage, and it's really the core of the process. This is where the insurance company does its homework. They assign a claims adjuster to your case. The adjuster's main job is to figure out a few key things. They need to determine exactly what happened and verify the details you provided. Crucially, they need to figure out what parts of the incident or loss are actually covered under the terms of your specific insurance policy. Not everything is always covered. And finally, they need to determine the fair amount that the insurance company owes you or the service they need to provide based on the coverage and the extent of the loss. This stage involves a lot of activity behind the scenes and sometimes direct interaction with you. The adjuster will gather evidence related to the claim. They will meticulously review your insurance policy terms and conditions. This is why understanding your policy before a claim is so important. Depending on the complexity and type of claim, the adjuster might coordinate with specialists. This could include appraisers to value damage, mechanics, contractors, or even medical case managers. Let's look at some examples based on different claim types. For a car insurance claim after an accident, the adjuster will assess the damage to your vehicle. They will work with repair shops to get estimates or arrange for repairs. They might also help arrange for a rental car if your policy includes that coverage. For medical claims, the process involves reviewing hospital bills, doctor's invoices, and treatment plans. A nurse case manager might get involved to coordinate care, especially for complex injuries. With liability claims, like if someone is injured on your property, the insurance company often provides legal assistance. They will investigate the circumstances and work towards a settlement, or defend you in court if necessary. For life insurance claims, the process is usually about verifying the death certificate and confirming that the policy was active and the cause of death meets the policy's criteria. Then, they work to pay the designated beneficiary. Here's an important tip. Claims may be denied during this stage if the event that caused the loss is not covered by your specific policy. For instance, standard homeowners insurance doesn't cover flood damage. You need a separate flood policy for that. Also, remember that deductibles apply in most cases. The deductible is the amount you agreed to pay out of pocket towards a covered loss before your insurance coverage kicks in and the insurer pays the rest. The adjuster will factor this in. Once the investigation and evaluation are complete, your claim moves into the third and final stage: settlement. This stage is reached when the insurance company and you, the policyholder, come to an agreement on the resolution of the claim. The resolution typically involves you accepting the payout amount offered by the insurer to cover the loss, or agreeing that the necessary repairs or services have been completed satisfactorily. Once you accept the settlement terms and receive the payment, or the repairs are finalized, the case is officially closed. You've successfully navigated the claims process. So, to quickly recap, the insurance claims process, while it can seem daunting, generally follows three main steps: intake, adjusting, and settlement. Your policy coverage, the amount of your deductible, and the quality of the documentation you provide significantly impact how your claim is handled, how quickly it's processed, and the final outcome. Filing a claim doesn't have to be a difficult or terrifying experience. It's a process with defined steps. By understanding these steps, knowing what information you'll need, and being prepared, you can navigate the process confidently and efficiently. The ultimate goal is simple: to get what you are rightfully owed under the terms of your insurance policy so you can recover from your loss. Knowing the process helps ensure that happens.